Thanks, Eddie. In mid-90s, I think it was, when we started to develop a very clear strategy around East Manchester. And that strategy was about how we turn a legacy of industrial dereliction, the legacy which my generation inherited from our predecessors, into a platform for growth and transformation. And so many people, many of them in this room, have at different parts of that story been involved in the evolution of that strategy. And what we saw in 2002 with the Commonwealth Games, what we've seen since in the development, not just of a great critical mass of sports facilities, but the way in which that has been used as a platform for creating unprecedented levels of investment in East Manchester right across the board, I think provides us with something to be proud of. But the job has never been finished, and the job still goes on. Last Friday, what was launched by the leader of the City Council, the Chief Executive of Manchester City Football Club, was the essence of a partnership between the Council, between the Football Club and New East Manchester, which is seeking to do three things. First of all, how we actually marry the ambitions of a city, which I think have been clearly exemplified this week, with the ambitions for a football club to actually create a world-class brand. But not only create a world-class brand, but how you marry that ambition with the absolute requirement to actually transform the lives of people who live within East Manchester and the wider city region. I think it's an incredible partnership. Many will have their own views about that, and inevitably over the next few months there will be significant speculation about what that partnership will deliver. And in good time, that will be revealed. What I can say is that what will be delivered will be as a result of not only the development of a vision for Manchester and Sports City in particular, but a hard-headed commercial approach to the delivery of investment and development, which we believe will set Manchester apart, not only from any other city in the UK, but set Manchester apart from other places in Europe. And more importantly, it's a partnership that's founded on the long term. This is not about next week, it's not about next month, or indeed next year. This is a partnership that will take years to develop a vision and to deliver that vision, which will transform Manchester. For us in East Manchester, what that partnership also needs to do, of course, is give us the opportunity to evolve and develop further our approach to priorities, our approach to interventions. Because let's be clear, what we are potentially talking about could not have been foreseen 2 or 3 years ago. It could not have been seen, frankly, 3 or 4 months ago. And what we now have to do is work very hard, and Eddie will lead that process, in reshaping the East Manchester regeneration strategy, and more particularly provide us with the capacity to look, given available resources, about how we intervene in order to ensure the interventions we make over the coming months and years actually are very consistent with the total vision we have for Manchester. I want to pay tribute to our public sector partners. The Regional Development Agency and the Homes for Communities Agency have been steadfast supporters of East Manchester and the Sports City vision for some years. What we've seen described by Eddie could not have been possible with the significant funding support of those agencies, because they too share our vision. Gordon Brown is in Sports City today, meeting a whole array of people. We've got a requirement to maintain the momentum on Sports City, particularly where the remediation contract is concerned. Bids have been developed and being processed almost as we speak. And the purpose of that visit is not only to hear at first hand the vision, the developing vision we have for East Manchester and Sports City in particular, but also to actually provide total government support and commitment to ensure that our vision for East Manchester and Sports City in particular will actually be realised. And we look forward with great confidence over the next few months to see even further progress made as we actually prepare the way for what I regard as transformational development, which will have an impact way beyond East Manchester and will actually set the Manchester City region as one of the leading places in Europe for investment and job creation. That finishes the sales pitch where East Manchester is concerned. I just want to pay my thanks to a number of people who have worked so hard over so many months in order to create the platform all of us have enjoyed during our MIPIM week. I'd like to thank the Marketing Manchester team. I've got a list here, the 2 Rachels, the 2 Claires, Louise, Chris, Nikki, David, Martin, who's backstage and has made all of this wonderful technology work, Liz, Shay and Elizabeth for all they've done. Special thanks to Rachel Combe and Liz for doing what they've done, particularly in the context of producing the Manchester International Daily News to rival The Guardian as it once was. And also to Elizabeth, Drew and Nick for the wonderful way in which we've been able to put this event on, and I hope promote, as I said at the start of the week, because that is the essential purpose of us being in MIPIM, it is to actually not only support the private sector in supporting them in selling their products to a global world, it's also to provide a platform for us to be able to communicate a consistent and high quality message about where Manchester is, where Manchester wants to be, and how we get there. Thanks very much. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you later for a drink. Thanks very much.